Virtual reality can only go so far. Truth be told, it's a nice escape from the real reality. I mean, it's all in good fun, and nothing can harm you, because it's all just a sound heard or an image portrayed. There's no touch factor, and that's what makes virtual reality just a game. That's what I thought when my friend showed me a game that he'd been working on for quite a while now. It didn't need a console, PC, or Mac. The only thing it needed was a special pair of headphones that he had created specifically for this game. The headphones would use sound to portray images in your mind that would make you see the monsters that he created for this game. For example, you know when you see an image of a ball bouncing, an anvil dropping, or a person jumping, and you hear it make a sound, even with the speakers on mute? This game would give you the same experience, except reversed. It was called Eat You Alive. He said it wasn't very plot involving, but now that I think back to it, you made the plot. Anyways, some people were coming over to my house this weekend, and we wanted to try it out. So we gathered all the devices that he had copied and brought them to my place. People were starting to gather in around 8 p.m. It was already dark outside since it was midwinter, and we were all excited to play this, what was presumed an awesome virtual reality horror game. The ones who weren't so eager probably wanted to look cool, so they sucked it up and did it anyway. 6 of us stood in the kitchen, anxiously or nervously waiting. My friend was making sure all the devices were set. They were still in development stages, so everything wasn't perfect yet. He talked about glitches, but I guess I didn't really care. Looking back, I wish I would have thought about it more. We all snapped the headphones on, then pushed the power button. Nothing happened at first. Well, we just heard a few noises coming from outside the kitchen window. The sounds were really blurred things moving through the leaves. But then, I saw a large shadow inch to the window and stop. Bashing its head against the window, the glass began to break. I shouted out at my friend, "What is this?" He just stood there with a look of shock and despair on his face. I didn't know what he was making. I hadn't even asked him. Hell, I don't even think that he knew it could be this real. The shadow had bashed enough of the glass to clear the way to enter. I can now see that it had a tongue hanging from its missing jaw, and a muddy, beaten, naked body. I picked up a knife from the nearby drawers and tried to stab it, but the creature moved so swiftly that it missed my flailing arms and jumped on my friend, knocking him against the counter, and began to gnaw at his shoulder. I could hear more coming, and for a moment, I glanced out the window as 5 more appeared. It then occurred to me and the others that these creatures could touch us, and they would hurt us. And this was not a game anymore. I took my headphones out, and the others followed. Then I ran to my friend and tore them out of his ears. The simulation stopped. The creatures froze in front of us, and the sounds blared through our ears. I blinked, and everything disappeared. People were leaving. No one really said goodbye. No one even talked about it for the longest time. We didn't want to believe what happened. We wanted to think it was all some kind of made-up shit in our heads. Because we still hear those noises today. Virtual reality can only go so far, until it finds its way into our reality.